Let's talk about the primary headache syndrome and the most important questions that come from this topic in your NEET PG/INI CET exam. Let's go. So we know that primary headaches are categorized into migraine, we have cluster headache, we have paroxysmal hemicrania, and we have SUNA or SUNC, that is short lasting unilateral neuralgiform headache attack, or short lasting unilateral neuralgiform headaches with conjunctival tearing and congestion or injection, right? So this is what there is. And then we have TTH, of course, tension type headache. So these are the 5 primary headaches we have. Let's talk about the important questions that come from this. So number one, let's talk about migraine. So we know migraine can be unilateral, it can be bilateral also, usually unilateral. Now unilateral headache, which is lasting from 4 to 72 hours, along with any one feature of nausea or vomiting and any one feature of photophobia and or phonophobia, will be categorized as migraine. Migraine is a clinical diagnosis, right? So now there are migraine headaches which are happening without aura. There are migraine headaches which are happening with aura. What you need to remember about migraine with aura is number one, that migraine with aura leads to a high risk of stroke, which is around 10.4%. Number two, that auras are transient. None of the migraine aura is a permanent feature. So if the patient is having supposedly scintillating scotomas for last 3 months along with headaches, it can't be migraine. So auras are transient features, and if you ask me what is the interval between an aura and headache, it is about 60 minutes. So aura has to be followed by headache in about 60 minutes, or aura comes within 60 minutes of onset of the headache. Either of these two, the duration is 60 minutes. It can be asked in exam. Important, this is important, 60 minutes. Scalp sensitivity is a feature of migraine. And what is the molecule involved in migraine is CGRP, that is calcitonin gene related peptide, CGRP. Remember this peptide. And it is one question that is asked is, what are nitrogenic neurons? So these are the first order neurons that actually release CGRP. So this is a question that has come up in AIIMS PG earlier, nitrogenic neurons. That's why I'm mentioning it here. Another thing is that they ask is about ophthalmoplegic migraine and basilar migraine. Now, what is ophthalmoplegic migraine? As the term suggests, ophthalmoplegia. So, there is a partial third nerve palsy. So, remember this word, ophthalmoplegic migraine. Let me write it here for you, ophthalmoplegic migraine. Number one, it is a partial third nerve palsy. It is a partial third nerve. I expect you to know what is a partial third nerve palsy and what is a complete third nerve palsy. In partial third nerve palsy, pupils are not involved. So partial third nerve palsy, and all extraocular muscles are not involved. So there will be ptosis. There can be other features of third nerve palsy. Third nerve palsy usually leads to a down and out eye. So partial third nerve palsy along with headache. Now, important thing to remember is that this third nerve palsy is transient. If the patient is having headache for 2 months along with ptosis for 2 months, which was gradually progressive, it can't be an ophthalmoplegic migraine. Please remember that when you are reading the question, read these two words properly, partial and transient, correct? So this is ophthalmoplegic migraine. Then basilar migraine is the migraine basilar. Basilar artery is supplying the brainstem. So basilar has to do something with the brainstem. Now brainstem has nuclei and leads to features of vertigo. When we think about brainstem, we think about vertigo, we think about loss of consciousness, we think about hemiplegia, we think about cranial nerve palsies, we think about vertigo. So any of these features along with headaches, we think of basilar migraine. Again, transient features, not permanent features, transient features. Now what I need you to remember are these two mnemonics. So these are oftenly asked questions. What are the drugs that are used for treatment of acute attack of migraine? For acute attack of migraine, and what are the drugs that are used for treatment of prophylactic treatment of migraine? So acute attack. So for acute attack of migraine, this is the mnemonic, and the mnemonic is PGT-MEN. The mnemonic is PGT-MEN. Write it down. P stands for paracetamol. G stands for GPANTS. T stands for triptan. M stands for metoclopramide. E is our ergot or ergotamine derivatives. And N stands for the other NSAIDs like naproxen. NSAIDs like naproxen, ibuprofen. right? So these are the drugs that can be used for the acute attack of migraine. And for prophylaxis, I have this mnemonic for you: Bekar, TV or FM. So you are preparing for AIMS PG, NEET PG. So this actually goes for you. Bekar, TV or FM. So B in Bekar stands for beta blocker and also Botox. Important thing to remember here is Botox is indicated when there are more than 15 days in a month that are suffered because of headache, that the patient suffers because of headache. So if the headache is there, severe headaches persistent for more than 15 days, so more than 50% of the month, we can go ahead with Botox. T stands for topiramate and V is verapamil and valproate. Verapamil, note it down, verapamil and valproate, verapamil and valproate. FM, F for flunarizine, very commonly used medicine for migraine, and M stands for monoclonal antibodies. These are something new. We will talk about these in detail. Monoclonal antibodies for migraine. So let's talk about the GPANT. So please note down these two mnemonics. One is PGT men and another is Bekar TV or FM. Bekar TV or FM and PGT men. These are the questions that will be asked. So remember these two mnemonics. Right now, let's talk about the new treatment of migraine that has come up. Take a screenshot. I'll wait for you. Take a screenshot. Okay, done. Now let's go. Let's discuss about the new treatment of migraine. So now this new treatment of migraine may not be important for your NEET PG, but is really, really important for INI CET exam, because these are the medicines that are used at AIIMS Delhi. And because we use it, we see the patient so oftenly. There is a migraine clinic. So definitely one question is maybe there. We can expect a question from the new treatment of migraine in our upcoming INI CET exams. So let's start with the acute treatment of migraine. The new treatment of migraine, right? So when I talk about new treatment of migraine, I talk about the medicines that are acting on CGRP peptide, calcitonin gene related peptide. So the medicines that can be used for acute attacks and the medicines that are used for prophylaxis. For prophylaxis. For acute attack, remember this: Ubrogepant, Rimegepant, Lasmiditan. For prophylaxis, remember Atogepant, then there are the monoclonal antibodies. Now the monoclonal antibodies are Arenumab, Aptezinumab, Fremanezumab, all are MABs. Galcasinumab, Aptezinumab, all are monoclonal antibodies. So from this, it must be very much clear to you all that GPANTs, so GPANT, G for CGRP and for antagonist, all the GPANTs are CGRP antagonist, CGRP antagonist. So there are two CGRP antagonists that can be used for acute attack, and there is one CGRP antagonist that can be used for prophylaxis, Atogepant. Atogepant का oral dose होता है 30 milligram or 60 milligram. The dose is 30 milligram, 60 milligram. The duration that we give it for is 6 to 12 months. Duration is 6 to 12 months. So oral medication 30 milligram, 60 milligram, 6 to 12 months. Atogepant. Now these are all monoclonal antibodies, and these monoclonal antibodies are either subcutaneous or given IV. So these are all parenteral formulations. These are all parenteral formulations. Then comes the Lasmiditan. Now it is a very good oral medication for acute attack of migraine, and this is the question that is asked in your INI CET or AIIMS PG exam. What is the mechanism of action of Lasmiditan and what is it used for, prophylaxis or acute? So this is one question, acute attack of migraine, and second is this one, 5-HT1F receptor inhibitor. It is a serotonin receptor inhibitor, specific inhibitor for 5-HT1F receptor inhibitor, lasmiditan. And the dose of lasmiditan is either 50 milligram or it is available in the form of 100 milligram tablet. It is an oral medication. This is also an oral medication. So now, earlier in AIIMS PG, there was one drug that was usually asked, that was telkegipant. Telkegipant. As the name suggests, it was also a CGRP receptor antagonist. A CGRP receptor antagonist, but this drug is banned. This drug is banned because of its hepatotoxicity. It has not been formulated. Hepatotoxicity since 2011, banned in 2011. Lots of participants in the study that was used for, in which telkegipant was used, ended up having severe transaminases or raised LFTs, and that's why this was not there. So currently FDA approved medications are these medications. These are the new medications of migraine. I will revise it for you. For acute attack, we have ubrogipant, rimigipant, and lasmiditan, 3 medications, new medications. And for prophylaxis, we have atogipant and then monoclonal antibodies, which are parenteral. Atogipant and lasmiditan are oral formulations. Gepants are CGRP receptor antagonists. Lasmiditan inhibits 5-HT1F receptor, and monoclonal antibodies are monoclonal antibodies that are acting for migraine. Now, remember one more thing. This can be asked in your AIIMS exam. RTMS, a repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation. A repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation. But for migraine, the FDA approved dose is a single pulse therapy. A single pulse TMS, transcranial. Then we will not use the letter R. So it's a single pulse transcranial magnetic stimulation, FDA approved for migraine. FDA approved for acute attack of migraine. FDA approved for acute attack of migraine. Remember this. Let's continue with our other primary headache syndromes and the important questions that are asked. So let's start with cluster headache. Now the question that you need to focus on is a male with headache. A male with a unilateral headache with lacrimation or congestion. Please think of cluster headache. This is the only primary headache that is more common in males, and the ratio is 3:1. Second thing you need to remember is the age group 20 to 50 years. So young male with unilateral headache, short lasting cluster headache. The usual timing of cluster headache that is given in your question is between 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. So it will be like patient is having a headache at around 11 p.m., is not able to sleep, is pacing around. Then periodicity, very important. Now what do I mean by periodicity? Periodicity is not the word that will be used in your question. In your question, the term that will be used or the sentence that will be given is that the patient is having similar kind of a headache once in a year, every May or every summer season, or once in a year annually at this particular time. So it is periodic. There is a periodicity every year. These symptoms are happening with the patient. So cluster headache. If these are the things in your question, think about cluster headache rather than migraine. So, and another difference is that cluster headache, usually the attacks are more in number. Migraine starts, it is a severe throbbing headache and it keeps on, it has an ascending or a crescendo pattern. It keeps on increasing. It doesn't go away at any point of time, and the duration lies between 4 to 72 hours as we discussed. But in cluster headache, the frequency is 1 to 8 per day. So these are the headaches that can remain from 15 minutes to 180 minutes. 180 minutes is about 3 hours. So 15 minutes till 3 hours, these kind of attacks are happening at least 5 to 6 times in a day, or any frequency between 1 to 8 in a day. Think of cluster headache. Now that is the difference between cluster headache, paroxysmal hemicrania, SUNA or SUNCT. All of these lead to unilateral short-lasting headache. The difference is in the frequency and the duration. Cluster headache, less frequency, more duration. As the frequency increases, the duration keeps on decreasing. Minimum duration is for SUNA or SUNCT. SUNA or SUNCT is a short-lasting unilateral neuralgiform headache attack, or short-lasting unilateral neuralgiform headache with conjunctival tearing and injection. So 5 to 50 times in a day, paroxysmal hemicrania, remaining for about half an hour, 2 minutes to half an hour. And SUNA or SUNCT are typical attacks, very, very short lasting, within seconds. So for second, there will be severe sharp shooting pain, and can happen for about 100 times in the day. So 100 to 200 times in the day, it's going to be Suna or Sank. Alcohol triggers both of these. A cutaneous trigger can lead to a Suna or a Sank headache. If we talk about the treatment, if there is a patient, if there is a male patient, a young patient having attacks lasting up to 3 hours, multiple times in the day, usually in the night, having a periodic nature, you know it is a cluster headache. They will not ask you which type of headache is this. They are going to ask you what is the treatment you are going to give to that patient. And the treatment you are going to give is 100% oxygen or a triptan. And the triptan that works is sumatriptan in a dose of 6 milligrams subcutaneous route, not an oral sumatriptan. That is not going to work in a cluster headache. If you ask me what is the prophylaxis of cluster headache, so that will be verapamil. Remember the V, verapamil. Okay, so verapamil. Paroxysmal hemicrania, indomethacin is the medication that is going to work for treatment as well as for prevention. When we come to Suna or Sank, very painful, sharp shooting, very short lasting headaches, only IV lignocaine is what actually matters, or what treats, or what aborts the attack. And for prophylaxis, remember this mnemonic LTG, L for lamotrigine, L for lamotrigine, T is for topiramate, and G is for gabapentin. With topiramate, please remember two of its very common side effects. One is renal stones and second is glaucoma. So remember that. You can be asked, patient is having short lasting headache, was prescribed topiramate. What is the investigation, or what is something that you need to do to monitor the adverse effect? And the answer will be checking intraocular pressure. This question has come up in earlier AIMS PG exam, and this can come up again also in a different format. So remember this, remember the LTG, and remember the two important side effects of topiramate. So these are all the primary headaches that you need to know about. Tension type headache is very least commonly asked. If they ask, they usually mention band-like sensation, happening continuously, a dull aching headache, feels like there is something kept on the head, usually involving the vertex or involving the bitemporal areas, feeling like a band-like sensation. If those are the words used, you go ahead with TTH. Otherwise, these are the primary headaches that you need to know about. Thank you.